Hello and welcome back to the Budget Knitter podcast channel. My name is WSpargurKnits and I am the host of this fun little channel, and I'm coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I live with my 2 dogs and husband. And somebody mentioned the other day if I would ever show you my husband, and the funny thing is I always film these videos when he's not home because I kind of get self-conscious when there's other people around. I don't mind if my dogs are around, and I know that you guys don't really notice any kind of apprehension, but for some reason I just feel weird when people are in the house. Anyway, for those of you who are new, who have never been to my channel, you can find all of the fun places where you can find me in the video description box below, like Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those fun things. But today we are actually going to do another yarn review. So last time I did a yarn review, I did it on Caron Simply Soft, so you can go find that video on my channel as well. I'll put a link in the description box below. But today we are going to review Caron Cakes. This is one of my favorite yarns, so let's get right into it. Caron Cakes, sold exclusively at Michael's. It is a wonderful yarn, and if you've never used it before, here's a little bit about it. It is a worsted weight yarn. It comes in a variety of colors, so many colors actually. And they're constantly coming out with new color combinations. Sometimes they're seasonal, sometimes they're just a limited run. This one specifically is called Fruitcake, and I love this colorway. I have 2 of these actually. It is 200 grams of yarn, which is approximately 383 yards or 350 meters. It calls for US 8 needles or 5mm needles, and it says that your approximate gauge would be 18 stitches and 24 rows for a 4" by 4" or 10cm by 10cm swatch. If you are using a hook, you would be using a USH or 8, which is also a 5mm, and you would get 13 single crochets and 14 rows by a 4" by 4" or 10cm by 10cm swatch. So this is great. Also, it is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So it's mostly acrylic, but there is some wool in here, so there's some great natural fibers if that's what you're looking for, but it's also still machine washable. Oh, excuse me. No, that is wrong. Do not machine wash this. This is hand wash and lay flat to dry. Also, do not iron. Yeah, so don't iron this either. This is great. I personally think that this is one of the neatest and fun yarns that you can use when you're on a budget, because it is self-striping, so there's not a whole lot of work you have to do, and if you are doing something that's very vanilla, like maybe a sweater or a scarf, it does add a really cool variety to what you're doing, and all you have to do is knit. There's no changing yarns or having to add in a ball every 2 rows or anything like that. It's just a really great, simple yarn to use. And the great thing is, I think this is $7.99 per cake at Michael's, but a lot of times they are running specials or discounts or sales. I have gotten this as low as $3 using coupons or whatever sale that they may have going on at the time. This actually happened to be on clearance, and I got it for $4.59, plus I think that weekend they were having 20% off your entire purchase. So I think I got it for even a little bit less than that, and I got 2 of them. So it's a really great yarn. You can usually find quite a bit of it. They usually even have a display for it. So this is great. Most of the time I go, usually it's almost never full price. Every time I happen to walk into Michael's, it's about $5.99 per cake. So it's a great value. You really, like, if you're just gonna knit a scarf, this is a great yarn to have. You can get 1 scarf out of 1 cake. It's great. So a little bit about kind of my first impression with it. Of course, I was attracted by the colors immediately. But one thing I'm also kind of this is weird. I'm attracted to the way a cake or a skein looks when I'm going to purchase it. Like, if I were to go into a store and this was, like, the band was falling off and there was just yarn everywhere, I won't buy it, because to me it's like maybe it's tangled or maybe it's just not packaged very well and makes me think about quality, which I know a lot of things can happen in transport, during shipping, and a lot of times it's not the manufacturer's fault, but for some reason I'm really attracted just to the way that this is caked up. It feels very high quality, it looks really nice, it looks luxurious, it looks fun. And so first impression, color and the way it's packaged, A+ right there. Next, it's super squishy. It's also light. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a heavy yarn to work with. It doesn't feel rough. It feels like it feels exactly like when I was still really new to yarn and to fiber. This felt exactly the way I would imagine yarn would feel when I look at it, if that makes sense. You know how sometimes you look at a yarn and just like, I know how that's gonna feel? This feels exactly the way I thought it would feel when I look at it, and that's actually a very positive thing for me, because I wasn't expecting a lot, but, you know, I did have some expectations, and this met every single one of them. You know, it's not like alpaca or anything, or mohair or Angora rabbit. It's definitely acrylic and wool, but it's still soft, it's not scratchy. I really enjoy sitting here squeezing it like this. It's really a great feeling yarn. And when it comes to working with the yarn, I never felt like it was getting rough or scratchy or squeaky, like some acrylics get really squeaky. This doesn't get squeaky or anything like that. This is a real pleasure to work with. I've actually used this in several different projects. I think in the past, I've used 2 or 3 of these. I've crocheted it into a shawl once, a virus shawl for a friend, and I have knit a shawl with this as well, in different colorways. But I think I got Caron Cakes kind of right at the beginning of when it started coming out a while ago, and I think it has improved since then. So it's a really great, where they're going with it, it's really great. So this, of course, is what it looks like in a cake. Let me show you what it looks like in a project. So the one project that I still have is the One Skein Wonder. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, but this is Caron Cakes in the red velvet colorway. And what I love not only about this project is, but this yarn, is it really shows off the stripes. It really shows you how long the color changes are. Of course, this gets wider, so the stripes get shorter, but and this is just garter stitch. This is just plain garter stitch. And all I had to do was knit. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so much fun to wear. It's heavy enough that I know it's going to keep me warm in the winter, but light enough that, you know, maybe I'm more of a fall or early spring weather, you know, maybe like mid-60s, that I can wear it and it's not going to suffocate me. Because a lot of people, I don't know how many acrylic things that any of you have worn, but acrylic tends not to breathe as much, and this doesn't seem to have a problem with that at all. It's a lot of fun to wear. There's actually a picture of me on my Instagram wearing it. I tried it on at work and had it pinned exactly where I wanted it to go. This is a fun project. It's just knitting. So if you've never used Caron Cakes and you want to use Caron Cakes, I recommend this pattern, the One Skein Wonder. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. This is one cake. This used one cake. I didn't tie in another ball. It's huge, it's fancy, it has just enough variety, and it's only a 4-row repeat. So every 4 rows you've done a repeat, and it's super easy to remember. I swear once you get the hang of it, it will fly. The only reason this took me so long the first time is because I tried to knit by color change, and it had this long gray section where they clearly tied in a second ball that was from a different dye lot. And I don't know how well you can see it, but I can see the different colors. This is a little lighter than down here, and it's not supposed to be, but so I got bored. But I work on several things at once. But this is a wonderful yarn, wonderful project. Give this a shot if you haven't. It's a really, really fantastic yarn. It's definitely one of my favorites that they have at Michael's. So overall, Caron cakes, great yarn, great variety, colors to suit any of your choices. They've got neutrals, they've got kind of gradients where they're all kind of in one color family, like blues and whites. And then they've got some fun ones like this where it's kind of just a variety of every color in the spectrum. And there really is something to suit everybody's needs, and I guarantee you that it's going to be a yarn you love. If you haven't picked it up, pick it up, michaels.com, and I believe you can also get it on Yarnspirations, which is on the ball band. Yarnspirations kind of handles a lot of the same things that Michaels does. It's a lot of the same stuff. So if you can't get it there, definitely look at michaels.com. There's almost always a coupon, so you can, most of the time it's 40% off one regular priced item. So if this is regular price on michaels.com, use that coupon. You can get it 40% off, have it shipped directly to you. This is great. If you, I don't know what Michaels does in terms of international shipping, but I know in the US, this should be no problem to get. So also coming up in the future, probably within the next month or two, I do plan on giving some of this away. So if you are interested in trying to win some of Caron cakes, then subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and leave me a comment letting me know that you're interested in possibly winning some of this yarn in the future. And also let me know, have you used Caron cakes? What do you like? What kind of projects do you like to use with this yarn? And I may feature you in a future video. So thank you for joining me for this review. I will see you again very soon here on the Budget Knitter podcast channel.